Hello everyone. Welcome to the next video of Chemistry with Sarip Sambe. In this video, we will cover and take what we were discussing in the previous video. We were discussing that when a solid changes its state into a liquid, the process is called melting. What happens during that process at a molecular level is what we're going to discuss in this video. So let's see. When melting occurs, melting can only occur when I increase the temperature. So melting occurs when the temperature of the solid is increased. When the temperature of the solid is increased. Now, you must have studied in physics that temperature is directly proportional, or temperature can be defined as the average kinetic energy of the particles or molecules. So when the temperature is increased, the particles gain kinetic energy. The particles gain kinetic energy. And when they gain kinetic energy, they start to vibrate faster. So when they gain kinetic energy, they start to vibrate faster. And they will vibrate fast enough to break free from their fixed positions. And how will they break free from their fixed positions? By weakening their forces of attraction. So this is what the process occurs at a molecular level. That when you increase the temperature of the solid, the particles will gain kinetic energy, they will start to vibrate faster, fast enough to break free from their fixed positions. And how would they break free from their fixed positions? Because their forces of attraction are being weakened. Keep in mind that during melting, the forces of attraction are weakened. During boiling, the forces of attraction are overcome. And how do we define melting point? Melting point is a constant temperature at which a solid changes into a liquid. Now, after discussing what melting point is, we need to discuss the other process, that is vaporization. In the previous video, we saw that vaporization is the change of state of a liquid into a gas. Now, vaporization is an umbrella term which covers two processes, that are boiling and evaporation. Boiling and evaporation are these two processes which differ from each other based on their 5 different properties. The first property is that boiling occurs at a fixed temperature or a constant temperature. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. With evaporation can happen at any temperature below the boiling point of the liquid. So let's say, for example, if water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, then below 100 degrees Celsius, water is continuously evaporating and you don't even know, below the boiling point of the liquid. Another very important difference between boiling and evaporation is that boiling occurs throughout the liquid. So boiling would occur throughout the liquid. Whereas in evaporation, it's a surface process, so it only occurs at the surface of the liquid. Since boiling is occurring throughout the liquid, it's a fast process. And since evaporation is only occurring at the surface, it's a very slow process. Since boiling is occurring throughout the liquid, there would be bubbles inside the liquid. Bubbles will be produced. In evaporation, since it's a surface phenomenon, no bubbles produced. Last but not the least, boiling does not cause any cooling effect. Whereas evaporation causes a cooling effect. I'll give you a small disclaimer that the definition of melting and boiling point are not very important from exam perspective, but you need to know them. They're very easy. And also the differences between boiling and evaporation does not show up in the exam, but you need to know the differences. And for our syllabus purposes, boiling is an extremely important concept. And what is the definition of boiling point and what happens during boiling at a molecular level, we're going to see that in the next video. So till then, stay tuned. Thank you guys.